Welcome, welcome, friends, to another surprise guest Sunday on 11/11. Today's guest is someone I am in awe of and find delightful in every way. She is wise, she is witty, she has an incredible sense of humor, and she's one of those people that is good at so many things. You could easily be jealous or resentful, except for the fact she's so nice that all you can do is cheer her on and applaud it because she's making the world an infinitely better place with all of her love and talents and skills. So, with that intro, mystery guest, will you please tell us who you are and what you do?
Hi, Joy. I don't think I can follow that introduction. I should probably just stop there so people have all this amazing impression of me. So I'm APARNA RAGHAVAN. I am a software engineer turned into an energy healer. So I came up with a new term this morning. I'm an energy engineer.
Oh,
How do you like that?
well, first of all, it's alliteration, so be still my heart.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't perfectly encapsulate the sensibility that you bring to your work, because you're so methodical and logical while having these depths as deep as the ocean. Oh my gosh.
That's
Oh,
exactly what I thought, because my passion is to combine magic and logic, and that's my inherent sense. That's what I gravitate towards. So my passion is to use the power of energy to transform your life. And there is nothing more practical than doing that through energy. So although energy sounds magical, I feel like that's the most practical way to shift and transform your life. So energetic engineer is what I'm thinking I should call myself.
that's the most practical magic there is. This is going to take me a minute to get past this one. I am so in love with this term and everything it imports. Go you, my friend.
Thank you.
Your work involves, so far, we'll see once you get into engineering it further, but so far it's dealt with healing the past to make for a healthier future. What can you tell us about that?
Well, everything is energy. So that's the first thing that we need to understand, right? We have a physical reality that is manifesting for us. We have thoughts that manifest in our mind. We have things that happen in our life that we sometimes go through autopilot mode. And most of these manifestations are controlled or guided by what has happened in the past. Because everything that happened in your past has made something change in your energy field. It has deposited emotions, possibly. It has deposited beliefs in your subconscious that then alter the way that you interact with the world in your present. And it defines what is possible for you in the future. So your past is really your anchor or your biggest propeller. So it can either limit you or it can push you forward to unlimited possibilities. So, dealing with your past or shifting the energy around your past is not optional. It is like crucial for you to have the reality that you want in the present and what you want in the future.
My goodness, what an incredible way to explain it. Thank you. Even people that aren't really connected to the idea of how their past affects them, the work that they do with you will show them that it's not something to be afraid of. It's an opportunity to clear out some things and just have a cleaner house.
Yeah, absolutely. And I had this conversation with my friend yesterday, and this kind of puts things into perspective into our day to day lives of how this can impact, how our past can impact. We're talking about childhood and, what happened in our early age, maybe at school or maybe at home. But we were talking about how it is so difficult when we meet people in our lives that have hurt us in the past to be the same way with them that we were before that hurt happened. And we were talking about letting go and forgiveness and all of those things that we talk about. We know that holding on to the anger from our past is going to just keep us stuck there, that it's hurting us more than that person. We know all of this, or maybe we don't, but even when we know that, we connect with it through our mind. We know that this is the action we have to take. But it is so hard to actually do that, to actually be there in that space with a person that has hurt you and be not affected, be at peace. It's not that you have to embrace them and invite them into your life, but the ability to be able to protect our peace and our balance, even in the presence of people that have potentially hurt us. And this could be just a childhood fight or some mean person. So that's when we were talking about how shifting the energy is so important. It's not enough if we just think about it in our mind saying, oh yeah, I should let this person understand why they did that, or just let the anger go because it is hurting me more than that person. It's one thing to think of that in your mind, but it's another thing to really shift the energy around that so that it happens automatically, because ultimately we're pure vibrating energy, and the emotions of that situation and the thoughts that got deposited in your mind from the past, that energy needs to shift so you can automatically be in a place where peace is the only option.
You brought up a word that I think is so important in doing that kind of work, because we think about how we've made ourselves vulnerable when we do this kind of work, because we're looking at some things that might have been buried to check out what's deep within us. And you brought up the word protect. Can you explain a little bit more about how doing energy work helps protect you?
Absolutely. So I think of energy work as two different things. One is to become whole again with your energy and bring everything that is yours back to you, complete you as a whole. And the other is letting go of any energies that don't serve you, that doesn't belong in you. So it's really strengthening your energy. We talk about filling our cup before giving to others. The only way we can do that is strengthening our energy. And when we are strong in our energy, we are protected against things that would otherwise affect us. Because when we are complete and whole and strong, the things that really don't belong in us will bounce off. It's like that shield that we have, it just bounces off. So it's really important to strengthen our energy field and let go of, and dealing with the past, the things that we talked about, is all about letting go of those things that no longer serve us at an energetic level. Because we do that at a physical level, at a mental level, but we rarely address our energy, because ultimately everything is energy. And when we do that, we have that protection is automatic, because our energy field is so strong that we're not affected by those things that might otherwise affect us.
That's absolutely fantastic and so hope giving to know that by doing this work, you're going to be protecting yourself. I love that. I specifically chose to showcase you at the end of our week on the topic of rebirth and renewal because of the nature of your work. How would you correlate what you do with those themes?
Wow. Rebirth and renewal is so close to my heart. And when I heard that you were going to showcase my podcast during that week, I was like, how did she know? Because it's at the core of what I do, and it's at the core of my own personal journey as well. So every time we transform our energy, we are birthing a new possibility for us. It's an absolute rebirth at the core of our being. Anytime we transform our energy, even the smallest transformation, creates so much possibility. And that creation is a rebirth. And it's renewing our energy. And we talked about that renewal, right? The protection that we get from actually becoming whole, bringing everything that is ours back to us and releasing anything that doesn't belong. That is renewal. So it's at the core of the work that I'm doing. And my own personal journey is also a journey of rebirth, I would say, and renewal, because I became an energy healer through my personal life experience of losing my second child. And this was after at least 10 years of fertility treatments through IVF. And I had my first son at the 10th IVF attempt. And a couple years later, we tried again, our 11th attempt. I got successfully pregnant. But then I lost my second child on the 5th month of my pregnancy. Right after we had heard the heartbeat, we had started sharing the news with everyone. But then I went into preterm labor. And that was one of the most traumatic experiences of my life, because until then, I had a lot of resilience and hope. With all of the infertility treatments, I still was able to move forward with that hope without losing my faith. But at that instant, losing my second son after that long journey, it was like I crumbled. It was devastating. And coming out of that, is exactly what brought me to where I am now. So you know how they say that life happens for you, not to you. And that was exactly what happened. And you know that I love Rumi. And one of the quotes he says is, the wound is where the light enters you. That wound is what allowed the biggest potential in me to come out. Because when that happened, and when I lost my second son, I lost my physical health, I lost my emotional, mental health, and I went down spiraling, looking for answers in every place, and I couldn't get it. Medically, all my tests were coming negative or normal, but I was not normal. I was not feeling okay. I couldn't stand up. I couldn't walk. I couldn't see properly. One morning, I woke up looking at my father, and half of him was up above and half of him was down below. Along with my heart, my vision had also split. And all of that sent me down a search for regaining my health. And all I could do was go from one specialist to another specialist until someone pointed me to a holistic practitioner. And going to her just transformed my life. And that opened the door to physical holistic healing, but also to the bigger holistic healing that is energetic. Because at a physical level, when we're looking at the entire body as not just your arm, not just your feet, but your entire being, that is powerful. But when you step back and look at your entire being as an energy, your mind, your body, and your soul is this big, huge, vast energetic source that is then connected to the energy of the universe. And that just blew my mind. When I found energy healing, I was like, oh my God, this is what I want to do. So my entire journey has been that journey of renewal and rebirth. So it plays into everything, and it's at the core of what I do.
You know, I mentioned to a friend the other day that you were going to start especially serving women who have been through this sort of situation. And my friend, when she got pregnant, it was with twins and she lost one. And when I told her you were going to be doing this work, I'm like, oh, shoot. I didn't hear anything. I'm like, oh, the line went dead. The call dropped. And after a couple seconds, I was like, can you hear me? Can you hear me? She's like, no, I'm still here. She was being quiet because she was so overcome with gratitude to know that there was someone else out there who not only understood what she had been through, but was going to be helping women who were going through the same thing. She's so excited about your course. I can't even tell you.
Oh, that is so heartwarming. And it is so true. It is a real struggle. And having gone through that, I know how unseen and unheard you can feel, because this is not something that you break an arm, you go out and people look at you and they're like, oh, they can empathize with you. They see the broken arm, right? This is a broken heart. And it's also more difficult that the person that you lost was never real to anyone but you. You are the only person that knew this being inside, right? Even your spouse sometimes. My husband went through his own grief, but connecting with my grief at that level, even he could not do that because he didn't actually carry the baby inside, right? It's not that he felt any less grief, but the connection that the woman has in terms of carrying the baby and then losing, it feels at times like no one can understand it because it is not possible for anyone else to have a visual representation of what was lost. And it is also not real, right, for many people when you're looking from the outside. So that journey is so isolating to have that pregnancy loss. This is something that I will be able to bring to people because I know it is an area that is not addressed, grief that is not addressed. And you can go through years of life. I was talking to another client of mine who is 75 years old now, and she was talking about the grief that she still feels with the multiple pregnancy losses that she had when she was in her late teens, actually, and early 20s. And we have worked on so many other things with her, but we've never talked about her pregnancy loss. It never came up. But when I was talking to her about this path that I was going to go into to have a program for this, she was like, wow, I have had multiple losses and it still breaks my heart. So women carry it for an entire lifetime, this trauma that they have. They carry it with them for their entire lifetime. And it affects their ability to create, because this is the seed of creation that we're talking about, the womb. The wounds of the womb really interrupt the process of creation. Then everything that you can possibly create is limited by what you carry there. So I am so excited, so grateful, really, that this is something that I get to do, to be able to help women unleash their creative potential by addressing that unseen, unheard trauma that they're still carrying. It is possible to let it go. It is possible to renew. It is possible to have that rebirth.
It's beautiful, Parna. Thank you for what you're doing for women.
Oh,
What sorts of experience and results can people expect when they work with you?
when you shift your energy, you literally can transform your life. That is the potential. You literally can change things at a level that you have never been able to change before. We talked about the thought process, right? So let's look at our being at three levels. One is the physical level, one is the mental level, and the other most powerful level is the energetic level. So if you want to transform any aspect of your life, and that can be physical healing, maybe healing your headaches or getting better results with your transformation in terms of some chronic illness that you have, chronic pain or something. Doing things at a physical level, like eating better, taking some supplements that are beneficial for you, making sure that your environment doesn't have toxins, allowing you to respect your physical body, that is one level of healing. The next level is our mindset, right? We can think about the positive affirmations or motivational speakers that impact how we feel about things and give us hope. That is the second level, to address the mind. But the energetic level is the core of all of these things. Until you shift your energy, the other two realities don't manifest. It's the most quickest way to bring your reality to life, by actually shifting your energy. Because all of these patterns that are stuck in our past, the trauma that we're talking about from pregnancy loss or from any other pain and trauma that you've had, these are energies that are literally stuck in your body. And by releasing these energies at that energetic level, you can allow things to happen in your physical life that were never possible before. Because we find ourselves stuck in patterns. Many times we're trying things at a physical level, we're trying things at a mental level, and then we go back to those repeated patterns and we're finding ourselves stuck in that loop, in that circle. That's because we're not addressing the energetic level. That is the subconscious autopilot mode that your body goes in. And until you address the energy, you're going to come back to the same repeated patterns. So what is possible for people is to really get out of those patterns, those circles that they've been running, to get unstuck, to release those energies at a deep level so they can actually transform their reality.
My goodness. And I will tell them also, if they work with you, they can expect a very, very thorough, deep dive into what they're going through that covers all aspects. And they can especially expect to be nurtured.
Absolutely. Nurturing is in our genes. I believe you and I both, and many of the wonderful women that we have the pleasure of being part of. So you mentioned, Joy, that this work is thorough. And that is one thing that I absolutely love about the work that I do, and how energy work is the most thorough option to release ourselves of all of these past patterns that we have. Because the system that I use is called Body Code, Emotion Code. It's one of the primary systems that I use, along with several other frequency healing techniques. But there is a thorough, comprehensive approach to the system. And we talked about how I gravitate towards both the logical and the magical, which is exactly why I gravitated towards this particular energetic technique, because it is so thorough. It is so comprehensive. It is a mind map of all of the types of imbalances that your body can hold on to energetically. And we navigate this beautiful system, this thorough system, in a systematic way to actually release the energies that are stuck in you. So it is the most practical, logical, yet magical way to address your underlying symptoms. And it is an absolute pleasure to be able to use this to let people release what is keeping them stuck and move them forward.
I'm sold. Are there any what you might call misconceptions about what you do?
Oh, there are so many misconceptions about energy work. Let me start with maybe the first one, that people think that energy work is only for who they believe to be deeply spiritual, or people that are meditating for hours a day or are part of faith groups. But energy work is for everyone because you are an energy being. You are a spiritual being. You are already a spiritual being. There is no need to be on a spiritual path because you are already on that. Every single person on this planet is a spiritual being on a spiritual journey and is an energetic being as a whole. So, energy work is really the core of what we do automatically, inherently in our lives, in our body. Our body is energetically healing itself every instant, every moment, every second. And that is the natural, innate ability that is already within you. Now, working with an energy healer, energy practitioner, or working with yourself at a deep level with your energy is accelerating that process, is also unblocking some of the places where your body is not able to do that innate healing. So it is really something that everyone can access and has inherent ability to access it. So that's one of the biggest misconceptions.
I love that because so many people think, oh, I'm not qualified
Yeah,
to do this. I don't get it. Well, like you said, at your core, you were built this way. So whether you have realized it yet or not, you were made for this, meaning the person that's going to be calling you for assistance, they'll find out that this is natural as breathing for them once they get
exactly.
into it.
Exactly. If you think about it as a child when you were born, our entire journey in life, sometimes I feel like it's to get back that connection with yourself and the joy and wonder that you have as a child, to unlearn and then reconnect with that child, right? And the child has absolute ability to heal themselves energetically, connect with their energy, and everything that the child senses is through energy, sensing the mom, sensing the environment. That connection is there in us innately, and it is available with our inner child, really. And we can really connect back to that childhood state of joy and wonder to allow this to happen for us.
I could have a conversation with you for an hour just about that one topic. I feel very strongly about that one. I love it. How might a person doing inner work, how might their transformation impact the other people in their life?
Oh, I love this question, Joy, because this is one of the biggest blessings that I think about the work that I do. The biggest gratifying, fulfilling thing is the ripple effect. Because when you change yourself or any person, when you affect a change on any person, the ripple effect that comes with it is incredible, because how we feel, how we relate with ourselves is really the ultimate definition of how we relate with everyone else and the world around us. And when we start to clear stuff within ourselves, relate to ourselves in a better way, we're happier, more joyful, more healthy, then everything that we do in this world comes from that place of happiness and that wholeness. And everyone that you touch in your life, whether it is your children, your spouse, your friends, your parents, your colleagues, or anyone else that you meet, a stranger on the road, everyone is going to get that better, that more joyful, more vibrant, vital person. And it impacts their lives in such a positive way because you are overflowing with your abundant energy, abundant love and light, and you're bringing that to the world and to every single person. And I see this all the time in my practice when women come to me asking for help with their children, and we start working on the child and they're noticing differences in their child, and they're like, okay, but I have this block, or I said something to my child and then they were not happy with it, or they reacted in a sensitive way. The first thing that I tell them is work on yourself, because then everything changes. You change the entire dynamic of your household. And then they start working on themselves and they're like, oh my God, you know what? My interaction with my child was amazing. And we were not even working on the child, we were working on the mom. So that is the power of transformation, where it can affect not just you, but literally the entire world.
I love this stuff. What's the most rewarding aspect of your work?
That ripple effect is the most rewarding. And every time that I hear a transformation, it just blows my mind. I had a client yesterday. She was talking about how she has never felt this way ever in her life. And she said she could not put it into words. She was feeling free in a way that she has never felt. She felt like she's had a monkey on her back telling her, do this, do that, go, go, go. And she finally was able to wake up and ask herself, what do I want to do today? And she said, there is no way to explain that. And she has never felt that. These are the transformations, this feedback that I get from people, me witnessing their transformation is the most satisfying, most gratifying of everything that I do.
What aspects of your work have surprised you the most?
The ancestral healing part
Mhm.
really surprised me initially. Now, I won't call it a surprise. It's more an awe now. Every time it happens, it's really amazing. Each time is as though it's happening for the first time. So it brings more awe and joy to me. But initially, when I first started with this work, the possibility of being able to impact your ancestral lineage, really kind of break patterns for your entire lineage, that was huge. It was amazing that that was possible. But then when I started putting it into action and seeing ancestral patterns break, that was a huge surprise to see it in action. There's been ancestral patterns of money fraud that we've broken, where parents, grandparents, they had issues with being defrauded, getting into even lawsuits and things like that. That was continuing on with future generations. And I worked with this amazing client of mine to break that pattern, to get out of that money defrauding pattern. And things shifted dramatically for her. And the beauty of that is we know not only break the pattern for that person, every future generation that is existing right now for her, as well as anyone that is not born yet in their lineage, the pattern gets broken for everyone. So it's like that entire lineage gets freed. And many of us that are going through challenges in this lifetime are cycle breakers. We're here to break the cycle for our lineage. And to be able to do that through this work is just incredible.
I'm so grateful for what you do. Are there any shifts in collective consciousness you've noticed since the pandemic?
There are, I think, both good and bad shifts. The one shift that I'm seeing is people are connecting to what really matters to them after the pandemic. It has brought their priorities and what's important in their life to the forefront in a way that was never possible before, because the entire world had to focus on what was important at the same time. And that energy is powerful. Even working with three people together in a room is powerful. Now, the entire global energy of prioritizing what our true soul's desires are, that I feel has come to the forefront, and people are wanting to do that in ways they have not been able to do before. On the flip side, there is a fear, I feel. There is an underlying fear and panic that is brewing, coming to the surface. And with energy work, I've noticed that a lot of times when we're working on the energies that are deeply rooted in our subconscious, and it comes to the surface, we start feeling it more. It starts manifesting more in our reality before it really gets released and before we're completely free of it. And I feel like we're in that state where things are brewing from our subconscious. They have come to our collective consciousness, and we can see some of the negative effects of that as fear and panic and the polarity that we're seeing right now. But I feel like this is where it's coming to consciousness so it can be released and completely let go.
Hmm. Excellent. That gives us hope. What's your biggest challenge as an entrepreneur who works in the realm of energy?
Oh, as an entrepreneur, there are so many challenges. Until recently, I wasn't even considering myself an entrepreneur. The biggest challenge, I would say, is working in isolation, trying to do everything solo. And the word solopreneur itself has that solo in it. But as
Mhm.
long as we're trying to do things solo, things are so challenging. So My biggest challenge are having to do all the aspects of my business myself. It's not just healing, right? I'm an amazing healer, I believe, but am not an amazing marketer. I'm not an amazing website builder. I am not an amazing so many other things that are needed for my entrepreneurship to be successful, for me to actually take this healing work to the people that I want to reach, right? To have that reach and impact. So there are so many things in this entrepreneurial journey that test our limits and our skills. So it's a constant personal growth journey. It's the biggest personal growth journey. So in terms of learning all the skills that are needed, and then getting to a place where then you can outsource maybe some of those skills to people that do it better than you. So it is a growth and learning journey in a package.
That's so funny to hear you say that, because anybody who looks at the product that you put out, whether it's a website or a video or a course, they will be blown away by the quality and the professionalism. And I think that will make people feel better to know that, oh, even Aparna finds this challenging. So.
It is challenging. I mean, my tech background definitely helps me in getting up to speed faster, but there is that learning and growth that is part of this entrepreneurial journey in so many different ways that it stretches us.
Are there any practices you teach that you need to focus on for yourself specifically?
Everything. Everything that I teach.
Fair enough.
Because when I say fill your cup and overflow in order to impact the entire world, to spread your light, it's really we getting into our space and clearing out the gunk within us so we can be our highest and best versions. I have to do that constantly to be able to bring this work to people, to be able to be successful in my entrepreneurship, to be able to be successful and impactful as a healer. So that is the number one thing that I keep reminding myself, to regain my balance, to fill my own energy, my cup, and address the shifts that I need in my energy. Because this is not a one and done. Healing is not one and done. It's not a destination. It's the journey. So that is something that I have to remind myself to constantly let go of what no longer serves me and empower myself with what truly strengthens my energy field.
And of all the impactful, amazing things you've said, you used a word that is near and dear to my heart, which is gunk. For real, because so much of it, a lot of times I just think, because it looks like these huge looming problems, I'm like, it's just gunk. And it just strips it away of that power, that now it's not going to be this.
And it's so funny because that's a word I use in my prayer actually before every session. I'm like, flush out all the gunk. That's my prayer.
So that is just a word I adore. It just strips it of all its scariness, the big challenges. So thank you for using that. What is something you can share about yourself that would surprise people?
Well, I like to write poems in my local language.
Oh,
that might surprise people. Some of them that know me might actually know that, but most people don't know that. And because we're on your 1111 channel, I will tell you one more thing that might surprise people. I have jumped off a 111-meter tall bridge in Victoria Falls, bungee jumped off it 2 years ago.
Wow.
Looking at other people do it was the scariest. I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do it. Once I started getting into that mode of they're putting the boots on me, they're putting the rope on me, they're tying the harness, all of that. When I got into that space, it was just already in motion and it was not as nerve-wracking. Then after the bungee jumping, I did a bunch of energy work to bring my energy back into balance. So I don't think I will do it again. It was really thrilling to do it once, and the sense of accomplishment you get after it was a push your edge kind of feeling, which is always great for the soul, right?
What are you looking forward to next?
I'm really looking forward to this program that I have planned for women with pregnancy loss. So I have a program right now called Radiant Resilience, which helps women let go of their past traumas and move forward in a powerful way to heal those past emotions, limiting beliefs, anger, resentment, whatever they're holding on to to really unleash what is possible for them in the future and unlock their resilience, because it's really about radiating with that resilience. Now, what I'm so excited about is taking this program and focusing on women with pregnancy loss to allow this sacred resilience to come forth for them from their experience, to work with a group of women that have gone through that experience, to let go of that, finally, that burden, that silent burden that they've been carrying. And because this is my own personal journey, it is so precious to me, so near and dear to my heart. And I can't wait to see what comes out of this.
Same. I really am looking forward to those testimonials, I have to tell you, because nothing is more important and sacred, I think, than healing women when it comes to that idea of creation and life and love. And there's just so much involved in it. So I'm very, very grateful you're doing that. We love to give our listeners gifts on Sundays. By any chance, do you have anything you can give them?
Absolutely.
Woo-hoo!
So my gift is called Demystifying Emotions, a journey to freedom. And this gift is going to let you connect with what your emotions are, what is it, and how to actually free yourself from the negative effects of emotions. Emotions are our biggest teachers. So there are plenty of positive impacts and wisdom that emotions give us, and they define how we interact with the world. But then there is also an aspect of carrying burden from our emotions. And this video will walk you through that entire process, help you demystify emotions for yourself, and be able to connect with that freedom of being empowered to connect with your emotions in a way that allows you to be free and true to yourself.
My goodness, that's some gift. Thank you. That's a very valuable gift. I'm blown away, actually. Let's see.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aparna. In our non-interview podcast episodes, we assign listeners a tiny task each day. So what would you assign our listeners today as a tiny task?
I was wondering, could we do a tiny task?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. Because the biggest thing that can shift people's perception is when you experience something tangible. And I want to do something tangible here so you can feel your energy. And when you feel your energy, that transforms the way that you interact with this world. So what I want you to do is really just close your eyes.
Okay.
Take a deep breath. Take a couple more deep breaths. And allow you to drop into your body. Come out of your mind, get out of the thoughts, and just drop into your body, into your breath. And then feel yourself being grounded to earth through a beautiful, brilliant light that is coming from the universe, entering your crown, flooding your entire body with that beautiful light, and flushing out all that gunk from your body. And then going all the way down to your feet, connecting you to the core of Mother Earth. And then transforming all that gunk that you flushed out into divine healing energy from Mother Earth's core. And allow that light to rise up, come all the way back, enter your feet, and flood every cell of your body. Let it heal you at the deepest of deep levels, connecting you back to the universe. And feel this light in you, feel this energy in you. And now put your arms out with your palms facing each other as though you're holding a ball. And feel this energy coming through your hands into your palms, just like you're holding a ball. Focus your energy on your palms and feel that energy, that literal ball of energy between your palm. Now you can feel this as pressure sometimes, as tingling, maybe a sensation that's hot or cold. But what you're feeling is actual energy. It's real, it's tangible. Now, I want you to think about some block or some constriction that you have. Maybe you have a physical pain somewhere, or maybe you have a thought that has been bothering you. Whatever it is, send this energy, this ball of energy that's between your palm, to that place, to that spot. Maybe it's a neck pain and you want to send it to your neck. Maybe it's your mind chattering with thousand thoughts and you want to send it to your mind to clear it out. Send it to where you feel you need that energy right now. Okay. Now you can say a quick thank you prayer for having this abundant energy at your disposal, the universal energy at your disposal, to transform your life in any way that you feel is possible. Okay, take a deep breath. Exhale and come back to your present moment.
I feel like I'm floating. It's fantastic.
Did you feel the energy?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And this is something that you can do any day, every day, anytime that you want to connect to your energy. You want to send powerful energy to a thought, to an intention, to your path forward, to heal some aspect of your body, physical pain. You can do this anytime. And it's a practice that you can do every morning, every night, or as and when you want at will.
That's the gift that keeps on giving for sure.
Exactly.
Thank you. Yeah, and I actually tasted it. I was like, it changed what I was tasting at the time.
Tasting, wow.
What advice would you give to someone who, for whatever reason, is hesitant to get started with energy work?
I would say just do this exercise, see how it feels. Because when you start feeling energy, you know that you're an energy being, and it unlocks something in your mind that opens up that possibility that energy work is for you. So I would say try this exercise for yourself, see if you can actually feel your energy. And if that shifts things for you, I'd be happy to help you forward.
Oh, thank you, dear. Any last thoughts you want to leave in closing?
Be your best, most authentic self and spread your light to the world. You are a star and you have no option but to shine. So it is in you, it is inherent. So go shine.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. And I just want to let people know if they are on social media, they should do themselves a favor and follow you because your posts are so lovely. They're energizing, they're fun, they're funny. And they always put a little spring in my step whenever I see anything you post.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Joy. And same to you. I mean, I absolutely adore your posts and your amazing images. And I'm always looking forward to what is the next creative image she's going to send.
Well, they're different. We'll put it
They are different. And that's beautiful.
usually in poor taste, but dark sense of humor there. I will ask you, my friend, since you're on the spot, would you consider coming back in a few months and letting us know where you are and what's going on and what to expect?
Absolutely. You know my answer to that. So I would love to share the space with you again next
Yay.
time. And I'm so glad and honored that you thought of me for this podcast and gave me this opportunity to share with your viewers some of the things that are brewing inside me and some of my light and my love.
Well, I can't beat that. So with that, we will sign off. And Chariste Salm, everyone. Tuta.
Bye-bye.